What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Track Talkers. Max Anstey talking shit to his boss on the podium. Are you kidding me, bro?
I mean, but that's how Bobby Reagan runs the team, right?
Yes,
Like
1,000%.
He wants the best out of his riders. And
period.
We just got a little insight, and it makes some headlines, and it definitely made it very interesting on the podium last night with hearing Max Anstey having that comment of, I don't know where you're at, and but it definitely got Max fired up, and we saw Max up to about 7 seconds dominate the night.
Yes. Number two big thing, Chase, we love you, bro. We are your homies on the show. But guess what? Now you're playing Cooper Webb's game if you're going to do that.
Hey, he is in the pool, and Cooper Webb's a goddamn shark.
Yep. And what's Chase, a tuna?
Yes.
And you better, because the only way you're going to beat a shark is with what, Ty?
Speed.
We got a great white shark and we got a tuna.
Uh-huh.
And are you going to be fast enough and not make the mistake to let the great white shark get you?
I mean, basically.
Right?
I mean, yes, because right now, Cooper Webb, the shark, is smelling blood in the water, and we're just getting to halfway through this season. We have a ton of racing left, but you are playing into Cooper Webb's hand. And the only way you can get yourself out of this hole is by not making mistakes and just wins, because Cooper Webb is going to be there every single weekend.
Yes, and that right there is what Chase Sexton is not going to do. And that's not true. I just haven't seen Chase Sexton be able to accomplish that feat. Is every single weekend be there.
My argument to that is that's how he won the championship. That's how he's won both championships that he has right now, is being there and the last man standing.
Very true.
Because when he beat Eli, Cooper Webb was in the fight too, and he got hurt. It's just the nature of the beast of Supercross and racing dirt bikes is that, dude, I don't want to go off on a sidebar right now, but even like Ken Roczen's got to look at this, be like, dude, I could be in this fight easily. Because now now we have the points tied between Cooper Webb and Chase Sexton, and then 16 points back is not very far, and there's Ken Roczen. So it easily could flip either way, but right now what it looks like is Cooper Webb is in the driver's seat for this 2025 Monster Energy Supercross Championship, and Chase Sexton has an immense amount of pressure on him to get back in the fight and to be the flag holder of this championship, and he's not right now.
Well, I know this sounds crazy, but you would think there'd be even more pressure on him after this weekend, and I want your take on this, Ty.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the mistake he just made, and he let Cooper kind of get back into it. But I think there's also kind of a relief in Chase this weekend, and I think that's what you kind of seen on the podium and in his comments after the race. Dude, he came from dead last to third. Okay? The field is light. I'm sorry. What, hate me, love me, whatever, bro. If Chase Sexton can come from 22nd and win, or not win, but come from 22nd and get third, the field's light.
Yeah,
and
but he did a similar ride like that early in the season. I don't remember if it was like San Diego or I think it was San Diego. He came up all the way to 6th,
Yeah,
and that's with Hunter Lawrence and Eli Tomac and Jet Lawrence in the field. So that's the exact same ride, just with 3 other riders out of him.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. He came from last to third, and now the pressure is like almost the worst Chase Sexton can do if he can stay up. Even if he crashes at the beginning or even towards the end, the worst he can do, and he knows it, is a third. And that also relieves some pressure too, in a sense of if you make a mistake with those other guys here, I see you rolling your eyes. If you make a mistake with those other 3 guys in it, your best from last is a 6th, and Cooper Webb could win and really extend the points lead.
Yes, but my argument to that is, and we know that better than basically, I think, anybody other than the people racing on the track, going through a Supercross field and dodging lappers and dodging people and dodging obstacles when you're battling doesn't always go as smooth as you think.
Yeah.
Like, think of Cooper Webb landing on a lapper, or Chase Sexton's almost got landed on a few times by being back in the pack. And when you're passing people on a Supercross track, doesn't matter if it's 15th or 5th, when you keep on doing that and putting yourself in that situation, there is so many rings of fire that he can jump through and not get nicked. But if you keep on testing it, something will happen.
Eventually.
That's just how Supercross is wired. Yeah. It's too risky of a track and too tight quarters for nothing to happen to keep on doing it. Like, that is not the recipe to win the championship.
No, but we know the recipe for the championship is consistency, right? And if you know that your worst is a 3rd, that means you can take that pressure off of yourself and be like, okay, well, at least I know if I have a bad night that my worst finish is going to be a 3rd.
That's
so if I can have a
silver
good night,
lining in this whole entire thing.
But that's a big deal for Chase, because I feel like that's his worst nightmare every weekend, is underperforming. He puts so much pressure on himself because he knows he's the fastest and he should win. I feel like that's all Chase ever thinks about, is the worst thing that could happen. And it happens time and time again. The worst thing that could happen is he's out front. He has the speed, tucks front.
I am so sorry.
When's the last time you seen a championship leader hit the fucking gate?
Bro, never, because no one ever tries to time the gate, dude. That guy thought he was going on 5 and he went on 8 and he just dumped the clutch. I don't care what his mechanic said that someone jumped on the side. Who dumps the clutch on some number?
Dude, maybe he thought the gate flinched.
No one else flinched but him.
I mean, my boy was.
Are you
ready to
like?
go.
I think this
he
guy.
Was amping,
this guy was
maybe
trying.
He hit too much pre-workout.
No,
before the
this guy.
gate dropped.
This guy went. This guy tried to time the gate, and it went completely in the wrong direction and just totally mistimed.
You know, when he hit the gate, tell me what your thoughts. Like, where did your mind go? Let's see how connected you were. Like, dude, when he hit that gate, what other races were you thinking of? Like, oh, maybe that's what happened.
Oh, maybe he heard the air or whatever in the gate, but no. I mean, and then top it all off,
just to come back to it, I was actually thinking maybe that's how he got that big hole shot in the rain.
Well, yeah, that's what I heard on the review pod on Pulp MX while I was listening to you on the drive down here, is that's where he was like, yeah, if he was timing it like that, and he would have got an insane hole shot if that happened. Like, if he would have timed it.
Insane hole shot.
I mean, maybe Chase does time it. Like, I don't know. And you'll never know.
So gnarly. No, we could know. I'll text him.
I don't think he'll ever tell you.
Do you want me to text him? I'll text him. Let's try it. Let's see if we get an answer. We probably won't get an answer.
But then on top of it, bro, he runs in the back of Harlan into the beginning of the whoop section and crashes again. And that's the type of stuff that happens when you're coming in from the back, is because those guys are unpredictable and you are reacting to the guys that are in front of you and not attacking the track. And that's the way you have to ride, especially in those first couple laps, or you're taking massive risks and you don't know what the outcome is. And the outcome sometimes falls in your favor and sometimes it doesn't. And you don't want to keep on taking those chances because it's going to keep on biting, or it's going to bite you sooner or later.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it just comes down to reality and being realistic and odds. In Supercross, we have a saying, it's not if, it's when.
Yes.
And that's the problem with this sport. We've seen it. It does not matter how good you are. It doesn't matter at all. It happens to every single person. The best guy, one of the most talented guys we've seen in the last decade put his foot down for a second and popped his ACL. I mean, I don't even know, like, how is that even? It's not fair. There's no other way to put it.
Dude,
but it happens to everybody, whether you like it or not. And like you said, if you put yourself in that risky situation, it's going to happen eventually.
Yes.
I mean, it already happened to him at SMX, right? When he got landed on.
Yeah.
And that was another guy that was really good, Barsha, that probably, doesn't normally land on anybody.
No, but that's his Chase doing things, not like being aware of his surroundings.
Well, it's Chase also kind of doing his job by thinking forward,
Yeah, but
it's so hard.
Dude, yes, you're doing your job, but also, dude, you can't do that. You can't cross, when there's 22 other people and you're third or fourth.
Yeah.
You're just going to get teed up or landed on like he did.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean,
man,
there's no way. Yeah. I mean, Cooper Webb is in the driver's seat of this championship, and the pressure, I think, is all on Chase. Like, it's not on Cooper Webb.
Yeah. I mean, let's put it this way. After the race, you know what Cooper Webb's doing? Probably sipping an ice cold twisted tea.
Yes.
Just
because he just
back.
Smacked the competition.
Yes. Just sitting back, sipping on a tea, just knowing that he just put the pressure right on Chase. He's just like, yep, I got you where I want you.
Yeah. You're playing my game now.
Literally. It's like, I don't even know. Yeah. It's like somebody that has the directions versus somebody that doesn't. It's just like, dude, you're trying to do it, but now you're fighting a losing battle and you're going to have okay, so tell me this, Ty. What's it going to take for Chase to win the championship? That's the real question. How do you beat Cooper Webb?
One, and this is where I was going to go next, is Chase has to have a plan to beat Cooper Webb and to execute that plan. Because right now,
just any plan in general?
Yes, Cooper Webb had a plan coming in the season, and I think it's playing out just the way he thought it would. Like, he's like, I know I'm not going to be the best in the beginning, but if I can stay this certain number, stay in the top 3 in the championship by round 8, and be going to the East Coast rounds and staying tight, and he probably has a number away from the lead that he wants to be, probably like 15 or 10 points back from the lead of the championship. If I'm here, then I can start clicking off wins and clicking off podiums where I need to on the East Coast tracks where I feel more comfortable. And that should put me in a good position to win the championship at the end. And I think that's what he's doing. Chase, on the other hand, I mean, he might have had a similar plan kind of going into the start of the season of like focusing on Jet, blah, blah, blah. But now with Eli and Jet and Hunter out, and then now Chase into the championship lead and now tied with Cooper Webb, he's got to go back to the drawing board and now write up a new plan and know his competitor, because his competitor right now is Cooper Webb. He's not worried about anybody else.
Yeah.
The way you beat Cooper Webb is, one, you can't make any mistakes whatsoever. Like, no mistakes. It doesn't even matter if you're fast.
Slightly Chase's kryptonite right now.
Yeah, you can't, it doesn't even matter if you're fast, Chase, right now. You just can't make any mistakes. You can't give a race to Cooper Webb, because the problem with Cooper Webb is he's going to be there.
Yeah.
Another one is when you're in the main event, you pass Cooper Webb, and then you got to get 5 to 10 seconds on Cooper Webb, because if he's within 5 seconds of you with 5 minutes left in the race, you are fucked.
I do agree with that, but then again, I do also disagree a little bit with Chase, because of how fast Chase is. I think that doesn't pertain to Chase and Jet.
No, but this is what I'm saying though. Like, I think Cooper Webb is good enough if he is stuck with Chase or Jet even right now, and all the way to the last 5 minutes, he's going to figure out no matter who it is, he's going to figure out an advantage and a section that he can close the gap on and just do that little extra percent and close the gap and make it happen.
Yeah.
He might not make it happen all the time, but he'll make it happen more often than not, and that's what you need to do to win a championship.
Yeah.
It needs to fall in your favor more than your competitor.
Yes.
And somehow Cooper Webb is always on. It seems like other than that Supercross season where he flipped off the track.
Yeah.
He seems to be always on the plus side and has a little bit more advantage over his competitors.
And you know what I think one of the biggest attributes that Cooper Webb has that he really jacks up everybody with is that I really don't think he cares if he loses to somebody that's faster than him.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't bother him. Where like Chase, he gets really bothered if somebody's faster than him. Mm-hmm. It's like a stick to his ego, which is like, it's so hard because Chase leans on that a lot. He leans on the fact that he is super, super fast, and he should lean on that. But the problem is you can't beat Cooper Webb like that. Cooper Webb is not going to care at all whatsoever if you go and beat him by 20 seconds or 1 second. Yeah. He's going to go to the next race and be like, well, I'm going to be there. Mm-hmm. And then he's going to go to the next race and he's going to go, I'm going to be there. And then he's just going to wear you down. And that's what I mean. It's like, how do you beat a guy like that? How do you break that guy down?
I told you.
You gave such a roundabout way. Simplify it for us folk.
Bro, you got to get hole shots and you got to be there. You got to stay up. Like you can't give races to Cooper Webb.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So
Chase
like pretty
can't
much
beat himself.
So your solution is win. You got to win.
You can't make catastrophic mistakes like this weekend and give races. First, what Chase has got to do is not lose the race and not give the race up. He's got to be in the race because right now he was just fighting to get back in it.
Yeah, he wasn't even in the race.
You know what I'm saying? Like if we look at like the last two races, bro, Chase is going downhill. Like totally fell apart at Tampa. Completely fumbled.
Yes.
Got fifth while leading the race.
Yeah.
Gave the race away.
Yep.
Next round, Detroit. Totally just didn't even give him a shot to win the race. Nailed the gate. Not even before the race even started.
Yeah.
Before even the clock started, he gave the race away.
Yeah.
Then 5 seconds into the race, he hits another guy and crashes again. So now we're 5 seconds into the main event and he's already put himself, 20, 25 seconds back. Yeah. And those are facts. Like you cannot win a Monster Energy Supercross championship if you are putting yourself 25% back or 25 seconds back from the leaders before even the first lap went.
Yeah. So breaking it down and simplifying it, which I think you're 100% right, because you can't expect to win every weekend. But what you can expect and what Chase has to do, Chase, we love you. We want to win. We want you to win. In our opinion, to win this championship, every single weekend from here on out, you have to give yourself a chance to win in the main event. That's it. You just have to be in the fight. If you lose to Webb during the main, that's okay to take a second. But if you're going to beat him, you can't hurt yourself before the race even starts or in the race. You have to give yourself a chance every weekend, which means top 3, top 5, and giving yourself a chance without making mistakes to be in that winning race battle every week.
Every week.
And you can't make a mistake. And that's going to be the hardest part. You can't throw it away. You can't tuck the front. You can't hit the gate. You can't crash with the lapper. You can't do anything. There's no There's no fib ups anymore.
Yeah, don't roll the triple on the first lap where you almost get landed on.
Nope. There's no more fib ups. All those tokens, all those certificates went out the window now. And now you let Webb get too close where there's no margin for error. And then you have to let Webb make a mistake because he's made mistakes in the past. We've talked about him.
Yep.
And if you're in that title fun, if you're in the main event winning position every week, you're going to put Cooper Webb in a position to where he has to ride fast every single weekend. And that's the only way you're going to get him to make a mistake.
Yes. And the facts are, dude, like the championship is starting right now. Like, yes. Like
which is 2 weeks from Daytona, which is about right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But like they're tied right now. So we're at 0-0.
Wow.
You know, for those two guys, it's 0-0 right now.
Yep.
So whoever can be the best guy from here on out is going to be the winner.
And then Kenny has to take advantage of those two doing their thing.
Yes. And kind of play into that, right? So he's got to be the guy who gets hole shots, sprints away, and then hopefully they connect to one another and start playing this cat and mouse game. And Kenny can
go get a win.
Yes. A win here or there. He needs a few.
Kenny needs to win.
Yes.
Kenny's got to win. He has to get in. He has to get it in his mind, which I thought he did really good this weekend. And I thought it was particularly good.
Did you think that he was like super timid when the lappers came? I felt like I could see a little extra hesitation.
Yeah, but I also thought the lappers were a lot better this weekend. You know, what did you think about that?
Well, he was a leader as well.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the lappers were a lot better this weekend.
I thought it was also
they really moved out of the way.
I thought it was a better track just for lappers in general.
Yeah, but back to the point, like Ken Roczen has to get it in his mind that he has to get some wins. Like there's no more seconds. We need to pull out a win, a W. And I think he did a really good job this weekend in Detroit taking that L that he got because it really didn't bother him. He Cooper Webbed it. He's like, dude, I just did my best. That's all I did. I got a little tired. We'll move forward, but we did our best. We're like him getting beat by Cooper Webb in the past was an issue and it got under his skin. Mm-hmm. You know, because there's times, obviously, that some of those closest races, he's lost to Cooper Webb in the last turn of the race.
Yep.
And that can get under anybody's skin. But now Kenny just seemed like it was like, yeah, dude, I tried my hardest. I did my best. Tonight, he got by me, but you know, who knows in Arlington.
Don't you think Kenny's overall fitness is better this year?
Oh, yes.
Like he's not
way better.
Like it's like understandably faded. Like not a weird, like out of the blue, like
drop
anchor.
To 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where like we kind of seen that a little bit, I think, from Anderson, which I think that also kind of was a crash, right?
Yeah.
But,
it was a crash at the very end.
But still, though, I don't know.
But also,
it could be sick, too.
I'm pretty sure also, yeah, there's been some crazy sicknesses going around in the paddock. But also, if you remember right, Jason Anderson had a horrible Detroit last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is where I believe this is where he got knocked out.
I mean,
and crashed a few times.
Yeah, that would make sense. All right, speaking of that, moving on. Dirt trick sprockets, bro. You know what a dirt trick sprocket does?
Last forever.
Lasts for 300 to 500 hours. Made in the USA. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you need a sprocket that is going to be what you expect it to be when you buy it, go to dirttricks.com. And we also have a code, TrackTalkers25. Okay?
25.
No caps for 25% off. Get hooked up. Support American-made products.
It'll be the last sprocket you ever buy.
Unless you change bikes.
Or want to change gearing.
or want to change gearing. But it'll last a long time. And we appreciate their help. All right, well, let's get right into it. The 450, the Dirt Tricks highlights by the 450 highlights by Dirt Tricks, starting with Heat 1, Jason Anderson dub.
Boom.
and we just said he had a bad night.
Yeah. I mean, up until that point, like, I felt like Jason Anderson has been doing really consistent.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a weird up and down.
We did kind of talk about a little bit how the field is light, but speaking of being light, man, it's a big opportunity for Justin Cooper to get better right now.
Dude, how about Justin Cooper ripping the whoops right off the rip and not jumping him?
Yeah, I mean, it was good, but he clearly still needs some work.
Yeah, but
he's doing the work.
Yes, he's doing it. And
hey,
we
got to give him one, right?
Yes. He acknowledged the problem, and that's telling me that he's working on it during the week, and the team is setting his bike up more for skipping the whoops, because obviously jumping the whoops is not where it's at.
Not this year.
Well, not at these tracks yet. We will get there. When St. Louis and Indy and these softer tracks come.
Well, St. Louis, we don't even have a Supercross.
Well, I mean, yeah, sorry, SMX. Yeah.
You know what we know what you mean.
But the sandier soil and the loamier soil, like these tracks there's going to be tracks where these jumpers are coming up. And, Daytona for sure.
I think one of the biggest things, though, for Justin Cooper about the whoops is that, and I'm really guilty of this in my career, is like, this is a different feel. But when I couldn't get a triple out of a corner, I let it fuck or mess everything else up on my lap. I had it in my head, like, this triple, I got to get this triple. I got to get this triple. And it's like, if you look at the segment time, the triple was a second or a half a second. Mm-hmm. But I was also losing a lot of time in other places, and I wasn't racing the track. I understand that, if you're struggling in the whoops, let that be the only place you struggle, because Justin Cooper is fast everywhere else.
I think Justin Cooper does a very good. I was actually on that point directly. Anaheim 2, he did a phenomenal job.
Dude, okay, hold on though. That's where I was talking about.
Yeah, but he realized that he sucked in the whoops and then tried to make it up everywhere else.
In the main. In the heat race, he didn't even make it out of the heat.
Well,
because he was so jacked.
Well, yeah. But in the main event, when he got the whole shot, he said, this is what I'm doing. I'm jumping through the whoops. I know I'm going to be slow.
Yep.
And did it. And then ripped the whole entire rest of the track.
Yeah. Dylan Ferrandis looked a lot better.
He was racing.
Yep. He was racing. Up there. Didn't really see much out of Justin Hill.
Benny Bloss. Are we going to talk about Benny Bloss and Joey Savacci crash?
Let's talk about
in the same shot.
Savacci, bro. Was that in the same shot?
Yes.
No, it was a different shot.
Supercross Live posted a video where they have Benny Bloss endoing in the whoops. Then 15 or 20 seconds later, you see Joey Savacci on the left-hand side of the shot totally ejecto-cedo cuz on the quad and somehow slides through his hip and just survives and it's fine.
Bro, for all of you that don't know, how bad that could have been for Benny, because did you see how his feet hooked too a little and it whipped him? That is femur snappage. So close.
I thought you were talking about Joey.
No, Joey, that's a whole nother level.
He had an angel that caught him and just slid him down the lane.
It was like a playground, and he just there's the slide.
Yeah, literally just caught him and then set him down on the ground.
I mean, no lie. God bless. That could have ended his SMX season. Maybe made him call it quits.
Yes.
That's how big that jump was.
Yes.
I mean, the amount of speed, if he would have hit the front of that quad.
Yes.
Or even landed flat.
Or even got smashed by his bike, clipped on his handlebars or some shit, would have been gnarly.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking hospitalized for at least a week, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was absolute oh, here it is. Oh, it is both in the same shot.
Yes, I wasn't
Joey's
lying.
flying through the air without a bike, and Benny's
Imagine
laying
that.
in the corner. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
But I will give it up to Feld. Oh, that's why I didn't see it, because the Savatgy one's later.
Yeah.
I will give it up to Feld for changing that quad section.
Yes, that was
Not
a good.
good.
That was a good decision by changing it.
Yes. Good decision by the SMX League to take the quad out.
Mhm.
Don't need that. Okay, let's move on. Heat number 2.
And speaking of that,
okay,
I don't want to jump ahead, but we already kind of smashed the Chase Sexton thing. But did you see the line where he was doubling and then tripling onto that platform at the end of the main event, and he was catching so many people right there that nobody else caught on to?
I mean, there was other people who did it, but they just weren't doing it.
Yeah, but Max did it in practice, but it wasn't like a race line.
And I guess Levi did too.
Oh, okay. Levi did, but But I feel like if Kenny would have known about it and pulled that out, he would have been able to stretch it out on Cooper Webb.
Until Cooper Webb did it. Even though Cooper Webb's not really a jumper guy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But that's the type of stuff where I kind of miss watching Jet Lawrence. He would have done that right off the rip.
Every lap.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been saved for the main like James Stewart. That would have been.
No, he would have done it he probably wouldn't have done it in his heat race, or he would have probably done it all day, honestly. Yeah, he would have done it all day.
He would have done it all day. As soon as he got word that somebody was doing it. Okay. Heat number 2. Chase Sexton looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm Stewart looked really good.
Dude, solid 4th.
No, he got second
event?
in the heat. He got second in the heat. But I was talking about the heat. He looked really good. He looked like it was kind of old heat race Malcolm.
Yes.
Definitely my boy had more spunk.
And too, the way he was passing definitely looked like he was like, oh, dude, I'm up here now.
Yeah.
Get out of my way.
Another guy that we kind of seen some light from, which he's had good races before, was AP.
Yes.
I thought that was a really good comeback weekend for AP in the right direction. Yes, it wasn't this monumental jump that we need from AP, because AP right now should be 4th or podium guy. Like, he should be fighting with Ken Roczen, Cooper Webb, Chase Sexton right behind him.
I think he should be
right there.
I think he should be 5th no matter what.
Yes. And he ain't.
Yeah, he's a little off.
Like, 5th should be a close 5th.
Do you think that's his mechanic, kind of like splitting that duo up, kind of? Like, why is he off?
I think it contributed, but
I mean, he's off.
He's off, and it could be an injury. You know what was wild that I heard in the press conference, speaking of that, from Cooper Webb? That he said he would get fined if he talked about his injury.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard about that?
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard that before. I've never heard a guy in his contract.
No, I heard about him saying that, but I've never heard about that in a contract.
Yeah. So maybe Aaron got hurt in the offseason and he literally can't say anything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is a weird thing to do, but Colt Nichols definitely getting better.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't do that great in the heat race, but did a lot better in the main event. Dude, what's going on with Barsha?
Bro, I was going to ask you the same thing.
Do you think he's just like riding the wave and trying to get...
Like, it definitely seems like this is his last year.
On gas.
No, period.
Oh, yeah, like maybe... No, I don't... I think that... And this is 1,000% speculation, but I think with all the stuff with gas and KTM and all this weird stuff going on, and TLD getting the Ducati deal or whatever, I could really see him like...
Bro, he wasn't this bad last year, and he has the same bike.
Yeah,
and
but
he wasn't
think about
hurt.
the attitude. Think about the attitude. Last year, they were searching. And they said they found some better settings towards the end of the year, which he got a little bit better. Maybe he's just super not happy with the bike, and he knows that because he's on a 1-year deal or whatever he's on, that he's just like, dude, I'm just riding, and I'm trying to get through this till next year. I mean, it's early to be doing that.
It's really early to do that.
I mean, dude, and I mean, he could be hurt too. Shit, there's a lot of guys hurt now.
I don't know. It's just weird. We haven't seen like a good ride out of Barcia yet, as far as like podium wise or anything, and especially like with the field being so thin. Like the only thing that's changed since last year is now he's over at Alden's.
Yeah,
and now he's kind of gone backwards.
Yep, I agree. Let's move on. 450 main event. Let's start with this. Okay. Sector 1. Sexton, fastest, Plessinger, Webb. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Roczen? Roczen's 11th in Sector 1. Sector 2, Webb, Cooper, Roczen, Sexton. Section 3, Segment 3, Webb, Cooper, Oldenburg, Roczen, Sexton, 7th. Okay. Section 4, Webb, Roczen, 5th, Sexton, 11th. Sector 5, Webb, 3, Roczen, 2, Sexton, last. That's interesting. Segment 7, but I mean, it was a short segment. It was only 3 seconds. Segment 6, Sexton, Roczen, Webb down in 8th. Segment 7, Plessinger 3, Webb 5th, Roczen 6th, Sexton 9th. And the last segment, Webb, Roczen in 4th, and then Sexton in 10th. And the reason I want to bring that up, all those segments, everybody talks about how Webb is not the fastest guy.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, Webb's fucking fast.
Yeah, but
Webb is on top of so many of those segments and getting it done.
I don't think so. Like, why I think he gets that persona.
Yep.
Is because you really don't see how fast Webb is until the track gets beat.
Yeah.
Because when the track gets beat is when Webb comes alive.
Yeah.
And you can really see him shortening the track up, getting in and out of those insides and on the bottom of the berms. Like, he is notorious for that. He's definitely better than he's ever been as far as raw speed on like a flat track, I would say, this year.
Yep.
As far as what I can see.
But still, like in the heat race, little slumpy.
A little slow.
Little slumpy to get going.
Yes.
But once the train gets going, he's fast.
Yeah, he was all over Roczen, dude.
From
the beginning.
Yeah, so we're talking about the 450 main event. Biggest thing that happened, just to review, Sexton hits the gate, then gets hit by Harlan.
Mm-hmm.
He's in 22nd. Ken Roczen gets the whole shot. Him and Cooper Webb battled the entire time. Cooper Webb gets the best of him, wins the race. I mean, what's the take?
No. Aaron Plessinger gets the main event whole shot.
Okay.
And battles Kenny for a little bit.
Not a little bit. Yeah.
I would say a little bit.
Yeah.
More than I expected from AP.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Because we all know how fast Kenny is right off the rip.
Yeah.
And to calm that storm, like, I was pretty impressed.
Yep.
You know? Then Kenny gets by him.
Yep.
Lays some good laps down, and then it's just the Kenny and Cooper Webb show, just like within that a second and a half, 2 seconds until Cooper Webb gets by him.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. Like, what happens to AP? Like, did AP go down? Like, how did he end up 9th from getting the whole shot and leading?
Yeah, I just don't think he's clicking, bro. He still has the speed.
That's telling me that like he's getting arm pump or something.
No, that's telling. This is
like
my
he's
opinion.
not fading.
This is my opinion. This is my opinion. Yes, I think he is. I think that the bike and him aren't meshing because it's telling me that he has the speed to put it down, but he has to work too hard to get that done. Right? And you can't tell me that he's so out of shape that he can't last that long. So he's either being overworked or he's having to work too hard to get that bike to do what it needs to do. Because there's no way you can tell me that he's out of fucking shape.
Yeah, I know.
Okay? So he could be fading and being out of shape by the end of the moto, but that's...
You literally just said he's...
Yes, let me finish. He could be fatigued by the end of the moto, but it's a problem of how do you get the bike to work better? Because the amount of fitness he has should last the length of that moto. Something else is going on that's making him fade too much.
That still proves my point, Adam. He's holding on to the bike too tight and it's getting an arm pump.
I'm pointing to more that it's not arm pump. I'm pointing more towards he has to hold on to the bike. Not like it's a mental thing where he's just riding tight.
Yeah, but we're kind of saying the same thing in a sense because...
No, you are saying that AP is riding tight. I'm saying that he has to muscle this bike and maybe he got arm pump.
If you're riding the bike tight, is because the bike's not doing what it wants to do or what you were expecting the bike to do, so he's holding on tight.
Bruh, don't talk to me. I don't even want to hear it.
We're literally saying the exact same thing. There's just two different things that you can get out of the same result.
Okay, is there anything else you want to say about 450? Because it's like, it makes me depressed just looking at these results. Because it's like a runaway freight train, and then it's the whole back half is just all, it's all guys that have an opportunity to
get top 10 in points.
To get top 10 in points. And now the championship is just a runaway between three guys.
Hopefully it's three guys. Like, it would be so sick for Kenny to rip off a few wins to get a little bit closer to get like into single digits.
Oh, imagine
if
Kenny
he ripped
6 points back after next weekend in the Arlington where he's got the triple crown.
No, if he just ripped off 2 wins, he would be 6 points off of whoever, Chase or Cooper.
Bro, you know
or 9 points. Sorry, 9 points.
You know what's funny is like I'm talking about like how I'm bummed, but like if there's one thing this season's taught us, it's that literally anything could happen. Like, God forbid something happens to Webb, but like next weekend in Arlington, that's where he wadded up off the dragon back.
Yeah.
Right?
Was it? It was
either Houston or Arlington.
Yeah.
It was one of the Texas rounds.
Yeah.
Dude, for all we know, something could happen to Webb next weekend and it could shuffle the whole thing again.
Yes. Thank God for the 250 class.
I mean, yeah, I don't know, dude. This season's just been crazy. But let's move on, right? Anything else?
Nope.
Welcome to the Stan Benson Racing 250 class highlights. Do you need something in Bakersfield, bro? Any kind of part?
Sometimes.
Do you need something at a local racetrack anywhere in the Bakersfield area?
Hell yeah.
Stan Benson Racing.
Yeah, if you're practicing over at Honolulu Hills or DT1 and you need something,
Stan Benson Racing. You need a new tire? You need some Pirelli tires or ETS fuel? Where do you get it, Ty?
Stan Benson Racing.
Let's go. Stan Benson 250 class highlights. Let's start it out. Okay, I don't know if it was Heat 1 or Heat 2. We'll have to check. But I thought it was very interesting that Levi Kitchen got the best of Max Anstey.
I believe that was Heat Race 2.
Okay. It was. It was really crazy to me that Levi Kitchen got the best of Max Anstey, but I was thinking about it and like, dude, you remember when you were training with John?
Yes.
Okay. John Murata, and I was off at the Nationals, and we hadn't seen each other in a long time. And then we met at Glen Helen, and we like raced each other. It is so nerve-wracking when you really haven't seen what the other guy has. And I think that's all that was in that heat race. Because last weekend, Max didn't ever really get a taste of what Levi Kitchen can do. And Levi Kitchen had the hype.
Yeah.
Like major hype. And I think what happened is that was the first kind of real connection of like mono speed. And Max was like a little nervous. And then all of a sudden Levi got by him and he realized how fast he was, how fast Max was himself. And he was like, oh my gosh, dude, I got this kid. You know, he came up on him and he knew he had whoop speed, like massive amounts of whoop speed. And I think all it was Max was riding tight at the beginning of that race. And he just didn't know what Levi had. And I think he was just a little on the nervous side. And then once the cards kind of unfolded, I think that's why you seen Max catch him so fast towards the end of the heat and like regroup and catch him. And I think that's why you seen that big gap in the main event.
Well, so I watched the Vital MX Lewis Phillips interview with Max Anstie. It was a really good interview. And Max was talking about specifically the heat race and being behind Levi Kitchen. And Max was saying that, like, just like how you said it, was like he really hasn't raced Levi whatsoever. So with him being behind Levi for that amount of time in the heat race, he said that it really surprised himself on how fast Levi was, but also on where Max's speed was. And he could be, 1 or 2% off of where he needed to be where Levi was at, and he could still push that 1 or 2% that he needed. And he was just learning and just getting comfortable behind Levi Kitchen in that heat race.
Yeah.
And that just gave him the confidence going into that main event.
Yes. And that's what I seen from the outside looking in, and I think that's why you seen that gap. It's cool to see Nate Thrasher get a good start, and with
especially
the hand guards.
after his broken finger and everything.
Yeah, so I guess another rider and him at the practice track connected.
Damn.
So they were at the Star Racing facility, supposedly. This is what I heard on TV. Like, it was really quick. I barely caught it. And they wouldn't say the name of the other rider, but the other rider like jumped across the lane, got squirrely, and hit him in the hand and broke his finger. So it was somebody else supposedly on the team or somebody practicing there or whatever.
Because on his Instagram, he said, this was out of my control. It just happened.
Yeah.
That's what he said on his Instagram.
Yes.
But somehow he comes out, Nate Thrasher style, fucking gets a heat race win with a broken finger.
I know. So savage, bro. So savage.
Dude, if this guy could wrangle his internal, like, I don't
luck?
know, wind
Is
speed.
It luck?
No,
what?
I don't even know what it is because, dude, this kid, like, from the start of his career, he goes to the LCQ, wins the LCQ, then wins that main event in Atlanta Speedway.
Yeah.
Like, and then all of a sudden, kind of falls off. And then, a year later, then he has this dominant performance in Salt Lake City. Like, why can't we do this all the time?
Dude, I don't want to see it, and I hope it doesn't come to this. But I think personally that Nate Thrasher would really benefit from losing his star ride, getting on like a Phoenix Honda, clean slate, no pressure, getting back to it, getting really fast, good body, and then eventually getting back on Star and winning some championships. Because he can do it.
Yes.
He can do it. He's just had a really bad
he's
luck.
Yeah, he's also been hurt a lot. So hopefully he can stay healthy and get some confidence.
Maybe he doesn't even have to, lose his star ride. And that's not what we want to see at all whatsoever. But he needs the pressure taken off him, and he needs just a clean slate.
Maybe he just puts too much pressure on himself to perform.
Because, that could be it too.
But anyways, kind of moving on and just trying to get through these heat race wins results. Congratulations to Nate Thrasher. We hope he
Chance Hymas rode good.
Yep.
Hammaker had food poisoning.
Yep. Phenomenal ride by Hammaker. Cameron McAdoo crashes. Cameron McAdoo crashes in the last corner right behind Nate Thrasher in the sand.
Yep.
Tom Vial, kind of quiet fifth.
Bro.
What?
I'm over it, dude.
Well, let's get to the main event results and then Austin Faulkner gets 10th, misses, something happens on the start again.
Let's get to the freaking main event, dude. I'm over Tom Vial, bro.
Are you?
I'm over it.
What do you end up, 4th?
Yep. Watch him come back and win the championship or something. No,
I don't think he's not. He's not coming back and winning this championship.
Okay. What do you think it is that Tom Vial is so far off?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
is it the bike?
So his best lap time in the main event, best compared to best. So his best was a 49.3.
Yep.
Levi Kitchens was a 48.6. Max was a 48.4. RJ was a 48.8. So
I mean, dude, that's a second off.
Probably on average, he's a half a second off.
Okay, well, let's put it this way. Fastest lap to fastest lap in the main event, that's like a full second. That's like me to 10th, bro, in the 450 class.
That's a ways off of holding the number 1 plate, past champion, and we're supposed to be coming in defending.
Now, do you think that
and we just went 5 in the first round and 4 in the second round?
Do you think that has to do with skill? Do you think it has to do with bike setup? What do you think he's just not as good? Or do you think there's something else going on?
Right now, what it looks like is he's not as good as his competition.
Is this his second year in Supercross? I
think it's his third.
Oh, because I was gonna give him the sophomore slump. But I think you might be right. It's his third.
Because I was even thinking about it as I was talking. I was like, well, maybe it's just he hasn't got a start yet. But when you think about it, okay, let's just say he gets out front. All right. Let's just say somehow he led the main event and he is in front of Max Anstey, Levi Kitchen, and RJ Hampshire on the first lap.
His goggle strap is so far out of the stadium, bro.
You know what I'm saying? But imagine that. Let's just say roles reversed and we put Tom Vial first on that stagger start with 3.5 laps left in the main event.
He don't want it.
Is he going to get first, second, or third?
No.
All 3 of those guys are blowing by his ass in one section, and it's called the whoop section.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe because we've had so many more skippers this year, he just can't hang.
I mean, it kind of fits, honestly, because he had a gnarly crash in Tampa right off the rip.
Bro, isn't it crazy how much we talk about the whoops?
And there's only 9 of them now, and they're like the easiest 9 we've ever seen.
And like how much they play a part in Supercross. Because it's like everybody's really doing the jumps now.
Everybody's doing the jumps and everybody's doing the corners. But you can win, you can gain 3/10 to a half.
Max.
You can gain 3/10 to a half a second just in that. What is it? Probably 250 feet, 150 feet. Because it's just such a deciding factor.
Hold on.
Oh, you're looking at segment times?
Segment 6, my guy.
All right. That was the short one.
Whatever.
I'll look it up right now. Segment 6.
I'm already here, dog.
All right. Well, segment 6. Max Anstey, Levi Kitchen, Chance Hymas, McAdoo, RJ Hampshire, Faulkner, Thrasher, Voland, Mumford, Park, Vial. Vial is 11th place on segment 6 with 6.2 seconds. And Max Anstey is a 5.9. So he's losing 3/10 of a second just in that 1 second.
That's not much, though.
3/10 of a second on a 5-second segment.
Yeah, but I mean, in the next section, Vial was fastest, and he gained a 10th back.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, where's Vial slow at? So he's
kind of slow in segment 3.
Dude, Vial first in segment 1. Vial first in segment 2. Vial
fifth in segment 3.
Yep.
Second in segment 4.
Second in segment 5. 11th in segment 6.
First in segment 7th. And fourth in segment 8th.
Maybe he is pretty fucking fast.
It's just the whoops probably crushes him.
Wow. That's gnarly.
So maybe Daytona, he just rips and wins.
Underdog, bro.
Not really. I mean, he just got, he was fastest in three segments.
Yeah. Wow.
Out of everybody.
Dang.
Let's hold on. What I want to look at. So Tom Vial's,
and these are all your fastest segment times. So either way,
I wonder if that's right.
Either way,
yeah, because look at, so this is pretty crazy. So I don't know if this is accurate, because seems pretty far off. But Tom's Vial,
yep,
ideal lap time. So that's all of his fastest segments put into one lap time.
Yep,
it will be a 43.9.
Okay,
and let's just say
it can't be. That's cutting the track somewhere, bruh.
Yeah, and this
43.
This is weird, because then Max Anstey's ideal lap time is a 57.3. That makes no sense.
No, that's off. Either way, Tom Vial struggling in the whoops.
Yes.
Major issue. So
confidence demoralizer.
Yes. Max Anstey not struggling in the whoops.
Yes. And then
like, bro, did you see him catch like 2 bike lengths?
Well, and to add on to that,
yep,
racer's point of view and rider's point of view on a Supercross track, where is the easiest place to pass someone in the whoops? Or I mean, to pass someone on the track?
Whoops.
Bro,
and it's the hardest. So many.
It's the hardest place to defend for Vial, because okay, let's just say Vial is slow and he knows it and he wants to block somebody. Literally, a good whoop rider is like, okay, Vial, you're going to go down the middle. All right, I'll go right or left and still be able to pass you. Oh, Vial, you're going to go right. I'll go left and hit and pass you and go around the outside.
And all they have to do, they don't even have to mess with you at all around the track. They just go, if they want to wait that long, they literally just go, okay, all I got to do is get as close as I can before the whoops, and he can go right or left, and he's so slow, I'll just go a different direction.
And you know how demoralizing that is for Vial?
Yeah, because he knows it's coming.
Yes.
So he's trying extra hard to get away, and if you can't get away, you know the pass is coming, and you can't do anything about it.
And to add on, he probably tries to go faster in the whoops and then has a gnarly, sketchy moment, and he's like, yeah, no, fuck that. Guarantee it.
Oh, that's tough. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. 7 seconds to go.
Oh.
Okay, hold on. You ready? 1,
Yes.
Mississippi, 2, Mississippi, 3, Mississippi, 4, Mississippi, 5, Mississippi, 6, Mississippi, 7, Mississippi. Bro could have just waited that long.
No.
And the race would have been over to call the red flag.
Right? Oh, yes. To call the red flag, yes. I thought you were talking about Max Anstey.
7 seconds.
Yes, because
race could have been over.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter where Max was on the track. It's just whenever they called the red flag. Because they can call the red flag mid Max Anstey lap. Because there's multiple people that have the red flag on the track.
Yeah. I mean, what would 7 seconds have made the difference?
Well, so the argument and kind of what the big question is like, in this specific scenario,
yep,
is there a guy or is there the medic and the lap guy considering where the race is at according to what the injury is on the track. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And right now, I think the rule is like if the medic needs the rider off the track or needs a second medic to be on the track, they're going to call the red flag no matter where the track is at or wherever the race is at, no matter what.
Yeah.
So, and to
7 seconds could be quite a few riders coming by in the whoops.
You know what I'm saying? That's the other side of the things is like, so you're holding at 7 seconds and then you're throwing the red flag and then everybody's off the track and then you're on to the next race, right?
Yeah.
And then
I heard McAdoo apologize to Max for the red flag.
Well, it wasn't his fault. It was medic's decision.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And later, I understand the call because, later in the race, there's not really any space on the track.
No.
Everybody's spread out. There's lappers. There's people, going off. There's not really a big break in time where he could have got up and walked off the track because it's not like he was moving very quick.
No. And two, it really scared me when I first seen it happen because he kind of like laid out like this and he was pretty still for a second.
Yeah, but I think looking back on it, I hope he wasn't knocked out. It definitely looked like he was knocked out, but also I could see where I've been in that scenario where you just lay there and you check yourself and you're like, all right, I can move my toes, I can move my fingers, and then it's like,
bro,
oh, fuck.
There's a point as well where you're like
exhausted and you just want to lay on the ground.
Well, okay, that plus if I'm McAdoo, bro, I get it. I just hit the dirt and I'm just like, fuck, dude, like blown out knee. Now this dog, just give me a second, Jesus.
God damn, just got uppercutted by my freaking front brake lever.
Oh, bro, like cut McAdoo some slack, bro.
He puts himself into these situations, dude.
I mean, he does. He really does.
But with that being said,
wow, that was a gnarly crash. Go ahead.
With that being said, so I got more information on the rule. The rule changed in 2024. So this rule was implemented. The rule of if the race with 90% or more.
So if the race in 2024, if the race was 90% done and they called a red flag, the race was over.
No.
2024.
No. This rule was implemented in 2024. So we've already raced it within a season already. We just don't know. We just didn't know.
Okay.
So the rule is if at the end of the race there is a red flag, no matter what, there is 3 laps. Green, white, checkered. But where it kind of gets a little bit foggy is that you have to cross the finish line and start a whole new lap to start that sequence. You know what I'm saying? Because the start was like 3/4 of a lap from the finish line.
Yeah.
So they had to start that lap, cross the finish line, then the following time they crossed the finish line, and that's when that green started, then white, then checkered.
Yeah. Yep.
So if there's any time remaining.
Well, I think the part that really confused us all is last week it said on the screen that 90% of the race was done.
Yeah.
It was over.
Yeah, that never got updated, and it should have been updated a year ago. From what I heard and from what Weege said on the Weege show. So.
Well, you think Max should have hung it out more?
No.
Yeah, I just don't know what you say in that situation.
Bro, that's such a tough situation. Because
it's one of those ones where you just want to take it back. You just want to get one more retry at that. You know, like when you're playing video games and you're in like a fight and you just did one little move that you wish you couldn't have done and you just wish you had a restart button on that. You know what I mean? It's like that. It was so frustrating because it really was. That wasn't the fastest guy who won. It was like Levi was in second. He had the upper hand. And really, to me, RJ had the upper hand. But I think RJ's still not 100%, so he couldn't capitalize fully like he would have.
Mm-hmm.
If RJ was healthy, there's no question in my mind, he probably would have got that race.
I don't know. His whoop speed looked not good.
RJ would have made the whoops happen or KO'd himself. You know that's true.
Yes, I know that's true.
I mean, he would have wheelied 3 in if he was healthy and just made it work.
That is true.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's just like, I didn't really see anything that Max did wrong other than missing the triple onto the tabletop.
Yeah, I mean, in his interview with Lewis Phillips on Vital MX, he said that, those last laps before the red flag came out, he was just doubling. And he was just in that mode of like, let's roll it in and let's make sure we're finishing this race up on top. I mean, at one point, he had an 11-second lead over Levi Kitchen.
Yeah.
And we had 7 seconds left. Like, what kind of mode are you going to be in? You know?
I mean, let's put it this way, dude. Levi, he won that race, but he also know his ass got cooked.
Oh, he got hella cooked. He got dominated. Levi gave up. Straight, he submitted to Max. That's what's so hard. Is because like Max straight broke Levi Kitchen and was like, "Dude, I'm the best guy tonight." And then it just.
And the hard part is
the rug
he
got
might
swept
not
up.
be. He might. I think Max will going forward will be the best guy, but in Supercross, all these guys are so good. Sometimes it's a week-to-week basis who's the fastest guy.
Yeah.
And you have to take advantage of those nights. And I think that's why Max was so frustrated too, was it's like, dang, I was the best guy. And this stupid little thing that happens once in a bajillion years all ended up happening. And I got the short end of the stick.
Yeah. And, with that being said, is it's like, I think Max is going to learn from this weird phenomenon.
Yep.
And learn from it because I think he's going back and kind of analyzing what happened and making sure this doesn't happen again.
I mean, we know Max is analyzing.
I guarantee it.
We love Max. Gosh, we love Max so much.
Yeah. But to see him do it 2 weekends in a row, I mean, he won that race. It was just a weird situation that happened, and the ball didn't pass, baby. Yeah, the ball didn't roll to his side, and he's still winning this championship, and he's in a perfect position to extend his point lead and kind of get a hold of this thing.
All right, moving on. Big L, big dub, Acerbis Plastics. Get the best plastics in the world, bro. Dude, I love the new gray. I really do.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to need to get a set for my bike.
We need a Acerbis top rider to get his ass going.
Who's that?
I'm pretty sure KTM runs Acerbis.
There you go. Okay. Big L, big dub. Who is it?
It's going to be the same as last week, bro. Big L, Chase Sexton. What are we doing? What
Dude, my
are
guy,
we
you're
doing?
giving my guy 2 L's in a row?
He's gotten 2 big L's. He wants to be 450 Monster Energy Supercross champion. 2-time winner, dude. He's got to get his head out of his ass. He can't be throwing this shit away like this, dude. You're too old, you're too experienced, and you're goddamn too fast and way too talented.
I mean, that's the best way to put it. That's the frustrating part.
Like,
it's you're too good, you're too fast, you're too talented, you're too freaking fit, you're too gnarly. I mean, I don't know what else to add to the list.
Yeah.
The reason why we all get so upset and why we love you is because, Chase, we know you can win.
And
we know you should win.
Hey, and on that note, big dub goes to Levi Kitchen because he did exactly what he needed to. He was getting second. He was making sure that he was finishing second. And then a situation came to him and he capitalized and made the best out of the situation that was given to him and made it happen and got the win regardless of the situation.
Yeah.
And won the main event.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we race, and you can never, you got to expect the unexpected, and you always got to be prepared for any situation you're in.
Yeah.
So, big dub, Levi Kitchen, back on track. We'll see what he does in Daytona.
Yeah.
What about your?
Yep.
What about your big dub, big L?
I'm gonna go with Max Anstey, big L. He should have won that race. He was in front. He had it. There's some things that he could have done. I think he should have raced ahead of himself with the red flag instead of racing so much behind and not worried about it. And I think he should have put Levi Kitchen over the berm. That was 50 grand. Should have put Levi Kitchen over the berm. And I guarantee you next time he will. He'll give him a little extra nudge.
Yeah.
Especially if Levi's going to race like he raced, then just put him over the berm.
Yeah.
Because he gave him too much space on that 180 bull corner after the 3-1. He should have just said, nah. Deegan would have just flicked them.
Yeah, but I think what happened was I think Max could have finished him off, but then Max realized that RJ passed him.
Yes, but finish the job.
Finish the job you got to finish the first job before you can get on to the next one.
Thank you. You can't do two jobs at once, which it all happens super fast. And I'm sure when he goes back and he looks at it, it's so much easier to comprehend when you're watching it on TV than actually being there. But you should have flicked him. You should have. Big dub, Max Anstey. Hey, but you know why big dub for Max?
God.
You know why big dub for Max? You can get an L and a win at the same time. We have heat races in main events because he straight smoked Levi Kitchen. He demoralized him. That's what you needed to do. You did give him a little bit of light, but for Max Anstey to be the oldest guy in the class and, he's not very good at starts, or I shouldn't say that. He wasn't very good at starts. And now he's whole shot. And then you just got beat in the heat race by Levi, and then you smacked him in the main event. Dude, Levi Kitchen is going to lose sleep at night trying to figure out how the fuck he's going to beat Max in an actual main event.
Yes.
He's going to lose sleep. And he knows that he got lucky. You can only get lucky so many times, but you can't get lucky every weekend to win a championship.
Yep.
Big dub, Max Anstey. All right. California Coast Plumbing. If you need some plumbing work down in Anaheim, commercial plumbing work, California Coast Plumbing.
Hey,
who's in the trenches, baby?
Our boy, Chase Sexton. He is tied in the championship right now with Cooper Webb. He is tied with Cooper Webb on Stereo Racing Yamaha, bro.
Would you rather be tied with Cooper Webb, Jet Lawrence, or Eli Tomac? Who's your best bet, you think, to win the championship? I think the last guy I want to be tied with in the championship is Webb.
I definitely don't want to be tied with Jet Lawrence, dog.
So what? Who does that leave you with, though?
I don't know. I think if I'm Chase, I'm picking Cooper Webb.
All right. Yeah, all those three guys are not good selections.
No. What about your in the trenches?
It's, I don't know. I talked about him earlier, but Jason Anderson.
He's in the trench?
Yeah, he's in the trenches, bro.
I know. This is right now, this is Jason Anderson's time to rack up some podiums, to rack up some bonus money. What are we doing?
We got a little baby. We need the money. We need the bonuses. We also need a ride.
Yeah, we need a new contract next year.
You know what I'm saying? And right now, if I'm looking at Jason Anderson and I'm seeing how he's riding,
bro,
he could get a fresh start. He could need a fresh start. But this is to me, gosh, this is really mean. I don't even know if I want to say it.
Then probably don't say it. If you don't got anything nice to say, then don't say it at all.
Well, that's not what Track Talkers is. This is just my professional take, and I could be totally wrong, and I'm just going to get your opinion on it.
Okay.
But I'm saying this is probably the least, I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. This is the least amount of speed I've seen Jason Anderson have probably ever.
Just this round?
Yes. just in Detroit, not the whole season because he looked good, but in Detroit, I don't know if it's like he could be sick, the bike setup could be off, there could be a whole bunch of
his
shit
bike
I don't
setup
know
can't
about.
be too off
No, it
because like
can't.
Detroit
Nope.
is very similar to what he likes.
Yes, that's what I would think. And we were just talking about him fighting for the championship.
Bro, he would have got fourth up until the last round. I mean, until the last lap.
Bro, we're talking about Jason Anderson. We're talking about a Supercross champion. Jason Anderson is a bad mofo, dude. He should be fighting for the dub right now.
He should be more in the podium mix. I know exactly where you're at. But
that's why I think I'm so upset is because Jason Anderson, I thought, had a chance to win the championship, especially with Jet and Tomac gone.
yeah, you're saying with this field that we have right now,
Jason should be a contender at the top of the championship list.
Yeah, he should be with that upper freight train.
Yes. And he got a good enough start too and had the heat race going for him to the point where Jason Anderson should be fighting for wins, not podiums.
You might see Jason Anderson be fighting for wins very soon. We'll see.
I mean, I guess that's why he's in the trenches right now because he's got to dig deep.
I know. And then this next round, this next Triple Crown in Arlington
should help him.
I mean, yeah, but Jason's not really good at like consecutive races like that.
I know, but dude, I think he doesn't look to me like his fitness is as good as Cooper Webb and Chase Sexton. It just doesn't look like that to me. And I don't think that caters to him in the 20-minute main event. I think he'll have more light in a shorter race.
We'll see.
Even though the Triple Crown is more racing.
Yes.
But you get a break. Maybe he can wrap his head around how long the race is, where it's like that 20-minute mark is just colossal feeling.
Dude, with how many motos he's done.
I know. That's what I was just thinking too.
Yeah, he's just got to figure it out mentally. And hopefully, maybe he's just has a little bit of cold and he's just getting ready for this week and he can bounce back.
All right. X brand. Does the zebra keep his stripes? I got a guy in mind. You got somebody?
Yes.
Hit me.
My boy, Cooper Webb, is showing his stripes and they're glowing, baby. And he is just trotting
He's
in the
had these stripes for a while.
He's just trotting in the prairie, doing exactly what
I don't know if they have prairies. I guess they.
Bro. The zebra is in the prairie, dog. In the African safari prairie.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it, bro. He's chilling, bro.
He's chilling.
Not a lion in sight.
No, he's leading the herd. Everybody's right behind him.
Feeling himself
exactly where he needs to be. Has every single stripe in the right spot and knows exactly how to compete in the situation he is in. And he's exactly where he wants to be. Maybe, maybe not, in the not tied for this championship, but I got to believe, bro, from the season that Cooper Webb has had, and now he's realizing that he's tied for the championship, and now he can just solely focus on Chase Sexton and beating Chase Sexton singular.
I know. Lethal.
Deadly,
bro.
bro.
Let's put it this way. When Cooper Webb, the great white shark, smells blood in the water, and he's looking at one single tuna to annihilate instead of a school, it's not good, bro.
Not good.
Chase Sexton is going to have to swim real fast. And tunas are quick.
Yes.
Tunas are quick.
They're real quick.
But the tuna can't make a wrong turn, bro.
No.
Like the tuna's front tire has got to be hooked up.
Yep. It's got to be very deliberate and very straight with his actions and just make sure
not a lot of fluff.
No. You can't be trying to fake out the great white shark.
Yeah, don't try to swoop up on him and try to, got you. No. He'll come from underneath and breach on you and you're toast, bro. I got another one. We'll just add one more before the show ends. Levi Kitchen. Are we going to see him keep those stripes? Like, are we going to see him front of the pack, or are we going to see him sporadic? Are we going to see him like 7th, 1st, 5th, 2nd? Like, what are we seeing out of him? Is this, Are we going to get some consistency out of Levi?
So you're telling me he's in like the development stages of his stripes?
Exactly. Well, yes. And that was a good stripe this weekend to be on the podium, right? Because either way, he would have been 2nd or 1st.
He already has some, like, I would say, some pretty significant stripes that he's got to get rid of and make some new ones, because right now his MO is Levi Kitchen not consistent. Like, he's very good in moments and sporadic, like you said. Like, that's his stripes right now.
Yes.
And he's trying to make new ones.
He's good in moments.
Yes.
And how do you...
And comfortable situations, and when everything's right, he likes to ride the wave.
Yep.
But if that wave's not there, he's not doing good.
Yeah, and like him and Deegan got this beef, and he's been jabbing back. You know what I'm saying?
Why are we still talking about Deegan beef, bro? He's on a completely different coast right now.
This is why. Everybody wants to jab at Deegan, and these two are supposed to be the ones chattering at each other. But a Deegan bad weekend ain't that bad. And I'm not seeing the Levi Kitchen being 5th as his worst weekend from dead last.
Hey, on that note, speaking of Levi Kitchen and Deegan, supposed to be these next kids up, look at who's leading the championships. Juju Beaumare and Max Anstey. What you know about that? Why don't you guys quit your talking and ride your damn dirt bikes and get some good starts?
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I mean, both those boys are riding dirt bikes.
Yeah, and now we get to see Deegan.
I mean, I guess one of them's talking shit to their boss. But it was all fun and games. I mean, for you guys that didn't see the interview, Max was like, he was just trying to get him hyped up. No big deal.
Yep. That's what that's what team managers and team owners need to do sometimes. They need a little fire underneath their butt.
Yeah, I've had my team managers piss me off a couple times to get me to ride good.
I remember Pops lighting your ass up on some local races to get you in the race mood, dog.
I love it. Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for listening. For those of you guys that have been watching till the end, we appreciate it so much. We are going to have some SKDA graphics giveaways coming up here pretty soon.
What?
So, yeah, we got some gift certificates.
Oh, nice.
For full sets of graphics. So,
hell yeah, they make some sick-ass shit.
Duh. The best.
The best.
Are you kidding me? So, we're going to have some more giveaways coming up, but make sure you guys like, subscribe, and thank you guys again so much for all the support, for the comments in the press conference, for the comments at the races, everything. You guys are absolutely amazing. We wouldn't have a show without the audience and the fans. So thank you guys so much. And looking forward to being in Arlington. I'll be back at the race. I missed it this weekend. So look for some content via Instagram and other places. And we'll see you guys next week after Arlington.
Let's go.
Peace.